Welcome to the Bear Cave. My name's Big Bear Mark, and I've got some friends with me today. I've got Luke the Wonder Cub Mitchell. Hi, Luke.
How are you?
Good. I've got Nick Laws, who is the Secretary of Vic Bears.
Hello.
And I also have commercial photographer Steve Scalone. Hey, Steve. How you going?
Doing great.
Good. Now, I want to talk to you guys about bear history a little bit, because obviously we know that bears came out in the mid-80s, and it sort of developed from the motorcycle clubs that were around, and also as an anti-reaction to the gym fit bodies that was around at the time, the God Boys, that sort of stuff. But how does that relate to today and today's bear culture? And what is a bear in 2015? Luke?
Me, straight with me.
Straight with you.
I think. I mean, I'm a cub, right? Because I'm younger, so I fit into that sort of category if I was to categorise myself. I think that whilst back in the day it might have been more about just being a bear and fitting into the bear culture, now it's kind of extended out to being this massive thing of, well, am I a bear? Am I a cub? Am I a daddy? Am I an otter? And all these other names as well. So now it's kind of got different versions within itself.
There's all the labels, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's like, how do we want to label ourselves, I suppose, is another thing, as part of the community.
Yeah.
Nick, what do you think? What do you classify as a bear in 2015?
You know, I'm just thinking off the top of my head here now, I'm sort of like thinking it's almost sort of like a bear coming out, in the same way that sort of like being gay has just sort of come along mainstream sort of thing. I think the same sort of thing with bear culture now. It's like, you know, there's huge festivals and that sort of thing previously, earlier on in the 80s, 70s, 80s, or whatever like that, you know, it's sort of maybe more of an underground sort of thing, but I think now it's sort of towards the mainstream. It's just like celebrated by everyone. It's sort of like, you know, a bigger identity now.
And I think you're right. I think we have become more mainstream in terms of, especially within the gay culture. What do you think, Steve? Do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually think it's a bit of a state of mind as well. So in terms of coming out as a gay man and then coming out again, like you were saying, Nick, in terms of becoming a bear or kind of identifying at least with a bear, it really is a state of mind. And I actually think it'll end up evolving into something 10, 20 years from now as well.
Because we almost have our own language also, in a sense. We have the words like woof, which most people probably wouldn't realise, but I mean,
We're not dogs. It's
not a dog, and we had a case recently that someone thought that was a dog, but it was like, no, that's it's a greeting, but that had a very different meaning.
Greeting in a friendly hello.
And Nick, that had a very different meaning when a few years ago, I suppose.
Exactly. If you said woof at someone, it'd be because exactly that, you were calling him a dog, essentially. You know,
well, you were calling him. You'd really like to do something to him.
Well, oh, okay. Yes,
nice.
I see what you're saying that other way as well. Yes,
but now
absolutely.
it's become sort of like a general.
Hello. Greeting.
But it still means, like, you know, like we're friends, so I probably wouldn't walk up to you and go woof. You know what I mean? Because I still think it has the implication that I want to sleep with you. So I wouldn't, you know what I mean? I wouldn't say woof to friends if I wasn't planning on hitting on them or flirting with them.
Yes, yeah.
Steve, would you say woof to someone just to say hello, or is it someone you want to sleep with?
I wouldn't actually. Only if they really, like, once again with friends, I know one particular person who I won't name absolutely can't stand it. So I will actually say woof to him just to annoy him a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's really the only time I would kind of use that.
I think one of the other things within bears these days about language is like we do have our own. We have Berryoki, we have Husbear, we have all these. One person said to me, "Oh, they love that," but then, is it too much?
I love a good pun.
You love a good pun?
I do.
They're going to always be with us.
I think that's one of the great things about being gay. You can have lots of innuendo and puns are great.
You know, Southern Hibernation and Trivial Hirsute and all those sorts of things. Like, it's cute, you know. It gives us a sense of identity. It shows that this is our community doing an event for the community. It's not just another party that means something else.
It's not quiz night. It's Trivial Hirsute. It's just, you know, it's not karaoke night. It's berryoke night. It's just identifying that.
From a commercial point of view, I guess it's instantly recognisable in terms of branding and that type of thing as well. To other bears or...
And from a commercial point of view,
bears.
it's getting bigger and bigger. You're getting more and more events coming along all the time now. And it's just, you know, Adelaide, you know, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane. Brisbane's coming up with one soon. It's just all, yeah.
It's
all
getting more
as well.
mainstream too, because there's been some TV shows that have featured karaoke, like primetime shows in the US. And there was one episode of a show last season where they went to a karaoke night.
Yeah,
And they
exactly.
were all there, and there were bears on stage singing, and one of the female characters got on stage and sang with the bears, and they called it karaoke, and they were just casual about it. It wasn't explained as what it was. It was just karaoke was there.
It's
So-
officially on mainstream TV.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right, okay, there
we've
you
sort
go.
of become
There
a
it
bit
is.
more
It's like,
mainstream than what we were.
Yeah.
So, as a community, a member of the community, do you think it's changed since 1985? Do you think the community has changed, the bear community? Nick?
I think there's probably been out there more, people are more identifying with it and wanting to be part of it. And it's like, as you say on the TV show or whatever like that, it's just wanting to be part of that rather than just defining by a body type or anything like that, defining by a philosophy of enjoyment or friendship along those sort of lines. I suppose that's sort of the way I could sort of see it developing now.
Steve, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it will always forever change. Not only with the advent of the internet and things like that, even the way we actually socialise has totally changed since late 80s, early 90s. And I actually think it will forever just keep changing.
Yeah. And with the invent of like growler and those sort of things.
Easy access.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you think we might progress? Where do you think we'll be in 5 or 10 years, Luke?
I hope it doesn't go backwards in a bad way. I think that, now we have all these great places that we can openly go and be bears and have bear parties and bear events and stuff. I'd hate for it to then go back to this thing of, well, I can look someone up on my phone and find someone and socialise that way and not have to go to a bar. I'd hate to see that happen. So I'm really hoping that it doesn't get to a point where we're just living on our phones. And even now you'll go to the local bar, to the Laird, and you'll see like on your phones, and it's like, oh, all these people are here. There's Nick and there's Steve and there's Mark. You're looking at your phone and they're all checked in there as well. So
Well, yeah, and that doesn't even that only happen here. I went overseas to a bear event, and they were all sitting there talking to each other on their phone, and they were sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's just a bit crazy.
Don't be a shy bear.
no, you're hot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Nick, you're a part of Vic Bears. Where do you think Vic Bears is going in the future in terms of bear community?
Ooh, I suppose what we're sort of like looking at is, the thing of inclusiveness and that sort of thing. I mean, we were talking about it before. It's just like, particularly one of the ones we're discussing is things like women being or identified Bruins. That sort of thing, that's becoming a bigger thing now. Women identifying as a bear philosophy as well, and sort of like the term of Bruin. So we're just sort of like looking at, the potential to do future events that have mixed, rather than just one gender, have mixed genders, and sort of look further with it.
Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for coming on, and I'm sure we'll be talking more about things like women in future episodes. And this has been Big Bear Mark, and this has been the Bear Cave.